In a majority 7-2 ruling, the Supreme Court on Tuesday held that states are not empowered under the Constitution to take over all privately owned resources for distribution to serve the common good. A 9-judge bench headed by Chief Justice DY Chandrachud, however, said states can stake claim over private properties in certain cases. The majority verdict announced by the CJI overruled Justice Krishna Iyer's previous ruling that all privately owned resources can be acquired by the state for distribution under Article 39B of the Constitution. While the article is part of the directive principles of state policy and is not directly enforceable by law, it can provide a basis for state actions like nationalisation or legal acquisition of private properties for public good.
See, 39B, if I were to read it out for you, 39B and C said that the ownership and control of the material resources of the community are so distributed as best to subserve the common good. So I may have some wealth, you may have some wealth, but that is your personal wealth. There can be times where that wealth may need to be accessed or redistributed to better serve society. In times of war, for instance, it may be that everybody will have to contribute. So if Parliament were to bring out a law, its validity would possibly be protected by reference to the directive principles of state policy.
The verdict stated that while some private resources may theoretically be classified as material resources for the community, such categorization must come only after assessing their nature and impact on the community.
The Honorable Supreme Court, in a Constitution bench judgment today, said that not every property owned by individual can be material resource of community. Means if the government wants to acquire any property for public purposes, then there are certain do's and don'ts, and there are certain restrictions made by this law, which says that the individual's property, which is a private property, cannot be acquired for the material resources. Means that without the consent of that person, it cannot be acquired. See, the private property may from material resource of the community. Every resource owned by an individual can be said to be a material resource of the community. The Constitution bench said in a 3-part judgment. The Supreme Court ruled that not every property, resource owned by an individual can be considered as material resource of the community under Article 39B of the Constitution.
The judgment overturned several verdicts that had adopted a socialist theme and ruled that states can take over all private properties for common good.